Thank you for coming to the 33rd Annual Clarkston Community Awards event. I am Greg Henneman, Senior Pastor here at Clarkston Community Church. It's great to have you here today. Our purpose today is to honor people and organizations that have made special contributions to the health and well-being of our community. I just love Clarkston, don't you? Do you love this community? It really is. It's a great community. And I know that you understand that great communities don't just happen. It takes many people who care and give and serve to make that happen. And we're here today to recognize and celebrate those people, even just some of those people, really, who have made our community great. And as we begin this morning, would you stand with me and let's say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. And let's pray together before we have breakfast. Lord, thank you for the gift of community. Thank you for the privilege of living in a community where goodness and compassion abound. Give us the resolve to keep it that way and even make it better. Amen. Breakfast. Anybody hungry? Breakfast will be served buffet style. Someone will release your table when it's time. This morning we're going to celebrate individuals and organizations that have made Clarkston a stronger and healthier community. You'll see those seven categories of awards listed and explained on page 3 of your program. Encourage you to take a brief look down through there. You'll also see the names of our Community Awards Committee on page 13 of your program. In fact, if you're on our program committee, on the Community Awards Program Committee, would you stand, please, and let's thank them, especially Dawn Horner, our chairperson, but everybody, let's thank them. I know they do a lot of work. I also want to thank our selection committee. These are people who read the nominations and selected our 7 awardees today. Their names are listed on page 12. And I asked if they too would stand, and let's thank them for their work. We also have several community servants with us today to present the awards and the proclamations. I ask Independence Township Supervisor Pat Kittle and Clarkston City Manager Jonathan Smith to join me on the platform, and also Terry Nalamathu. Give me 5 more chances, I might get it right. Terry, if you'd join us. She's a liaison for our State Representative Jim Tedder. And these 3 will be helping me hand out the awards this morning. And as they're making their way up, we'll go ahead and begin by showing the video of the first awardee, Citizen of the Year.
The Citizen of the Year Award is sponsored by LaFontaine Automotive Group. This award recognizes an individual who has given his or her time, energy, and talents to improve our community. We congratulate Maggie Radzar, who is the founder and president of Kids Standard Publication. She has lived in Clarkston since 2011 and has made a huge impact for our community's children. She has been working with not only Clarkston schools, but neighboring school districts as well, to provide students with opportunities to share their ideas and voices. Kids Standard Publication is a nonprofit organization that has published a magazine for children that is written by children. This is an important way to get children to express their feelings and ideas in a creative way. She inspires students, teachers, parents, and members of her community daily. Maggie is really paving the way for our children's futures. Being a part of the community is very important to Maggie. Not only is her company a nonprofit organization, but she is also a member of nonprofit organizations throughout the community. She puts her time and sometimes even her own money into the continuation of this club. That is how important it is to her. She is continuously making strides to get her community involved in the education and future of children. We congratulate Maggie Radzar on being honored as a 2018 Citizen of the Year.
Maggie, would you please come forward?
Thank you so much. Sure. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming this morning, and I'm honored and grateful for this award. I was driving and listening to my messages, and I heard a message from Heidi McLean with her exciting voice and congratulating me, and I couldn't believe it. I had to listen to it a couple of times. I'm like, wow, that's unbelievable. So I am really honored for the committee who voted for me. I appreciate this. 12 years ago, I started this publication in New York for the love of my children. Since they were inundated with electronics and digital technology, I wanted to find ways to kind of, move their mind or their interest to something that would interest them more than just working on the computer and using games and things like that. And once I started talking to other parents, I found out that, there were many other families, educators who shared the same interest, and they wanted to do the same thing for kids. So that's why I started Kids Standard publication. That was in New York, and, we moved to Clarkston. We bought our home 8 years ago. And my boys enrolled to Clarkston Junior High, and now they're in college. One graduated undergrad degree from U of M, who is working at DIA and continuing his master's at University of Toronto. And my younger son, he's going to graduate from U of M next year. So Clarkston community has been awesome to us. It's, the educators at Clarkston Community Schools have been great influence for my children and many other children I know. And that's why I approached the administrators 3 years ago about starting and relaunching Kids Standard magazine in Clarkston community. And they collaborated with me, and they were very encouraging to start this. And I'm grateful for Sean Ryan and Steve Heyer, who helped us with mentoring high school students to get them to work with younger students with their writing skills. And I really appreciate everyone who helped us on the way, because right now Kids Standard is successfully launching in many school districts in Oakland County. We are in 4 school districts, Lake Orion, Pontiac, Avondale, and September we are going to 5 more school districts. And I'm inspired every day that I talk to kids who have been writing for us, and parents, educators who talk about how getting students published or enrolling with our after-school program really changed their life. And that's really inspiring. You would look at the magazine and read the kids' work. It's exciting to see that, but hearing a ELA teacher who said her daughter did not have any interest on writing and reading, and now she loves to read and write. Or 4th grade student in Avondale who says, she never had the courage to raise her hand in the class because she never knew how to communicate with others, how to give her ideas. Now she has that ability to voice her opinion and collaborate with others. And I get inspired when one of our mentors, high school mentors from Clarkston, who is in Kalamazoo College, and relaunched this program for Kalamazoo public schools, and the kids are starting to learn and read and write. So, all these things, it's exciting, and I'm so excited, and, that we started this in Clarkston, and all the principals, administrators, parents, teachers who helped us along the way. I really appreciate your help. Our sponsors, LaFontaine, who is our sponsor for this, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Some of our sponsors, if you see in our magazine, they help us financially. And, one of our first sponsors in the community of Clarkston was Optimist Club. Many of you are familiar with Optimus. Optimus does a lot in the community, and I'm, always watching them and learning from them how awesome they are, how they dedicate and they take their volunteer service seriously. And, one of the people who I really appreciate so much is Juette. She's been a great mentor, and I always call her, ask her question about different things, and her background helps me to just, collaborate with her and implement some of the ideas. I appreciate Heidi McLean. She always does so much for this community. And, everyone who comes across to us, our organization still needs a lot of help. Whether it's volunteer work or we're looking for board members or donations, visit our website. There are copies on the table, so you could take a look at it. And if you'd like to join our meetings or events, please do that. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thanks for.
Let's hear it from Maggie. We got to figure out a way just to help them get it all down. So, our business person of the year.
Business Person of the Year is sponsored by Clarkston State Bank. This award recognizes a local business person who contributes significantly to make this a better community in which to live and do business. We congratulate Don Rush, who is assistant publisher at Sherman Publications and publisher and ad manager at the Clarkston News. He is continuously entertaining readers with highlights from popular local events. The Clarkston community relies on Don's insightful and colorful commentary to consider all aspects of significant topics of local, national, and international interest. Since Don grew up in Clarkston, his knowledge and love for the community is really what sets him apart from other publishers. He is known around the Clarkston community for his bright smile and award-winning column, Don't Rush Me, where he encourages his readers to comment and engage with articles and events in the community. He is not afraid to raise questions or ask his readers to voice their opinions. He is also involved in more than just writing these local stories. He is right there on the sidelines, getting the stories firsthand. Congratulations, Don Rush, for being selected as the 2018 Business Person of the Year.
Dawn, would you please come forward?
Thank you. See, kids? Some people like me. Actually, I haven't had that much of applause since the teachers at the Clarkston High School knew that I was never coming back in 1981. I kind of thought I reached my peak of, popularity and recognition in 1981 when I graduated, when everybody in my class voted me class clown. So I was kind of surprised, sort of, when I was nominated and then chosen for the Business Person of the Year. So the people out there are nominated, just so you know, the check is in the mail. For 33 years, I've put my opinion out there quite a bit, and I say some things to ruffle some feathers. I've been called mean, stupid, racist, homophobe, misogynist, fat. And I just want to know, I'm glad that Clarkston still appreciates those qualities in her sons and daughters. By show of hands, how many people live in the community? Awesome. How many people know the Clarkston News? Excellent, excellent. How many know by a show of hands that one of our goals at the Clarkston News is to get every kid who goes through the school district in our papers at least once before they graduate? Not many, but it is one of our goals. One of the first pictures they showed up there, me, was when I was 9 years old, in the 3rd grade. I looked like this. I've used that look to carry me further on in life. From the 3rd grade, in the 7th grade, I started a job delivering newspapers, open press, to all my neighbors in the ghettos of Clarkston. That would be in Independence Township, anything outside the city proper. Easy? Okay, I'll calm down. By the time I was in high school, I started working at Pine Knob. After the concerts, I was one of the, 100 or so kids. We would clean up all the puke and the you've never experienced life until you go to the urinals to clean it up after a concert at Pine Knob. In the men's urinal, bam, good times. I worked my way through college by working at Lakeview Cemetery up here. And yeah, I dug that job. You know, and I was so, even though I was so young, I had a lot of people underneath me. But being working in the community newspaper business has really been an honor. It really is. I believe a community with its own community newspaper is really a better community. It's a more informed community. People are involved more. And I just think it's a better community. I believe that the Clarkston News is like the glue that binds us all together. Having a community newspaper fosters a sense of pride in the community. It helps people get together to debate policy issues. You may not like something, but you don't know about it unless you read about it and get involved. We want people to get involved. One of the things we do is help economic growth. We want the local business community to grow. We think of ourselves as like the people who support and push and want local business to do good. Local business does a couple of things. One, it gives young people, like when I was young, the opportunity to have their first job. Even though it's a low-paying job, it's an entry-level job, but it gives you guys and the kids an opportunity to learn how to work with other people and what it's like to be in the real world. And also, we help moms fill their scrapbooks. You know, try cutting a computer screen out and see how that works. It doesn't look as good. Having that newspaper in your hand and cutting it out and sending it to your aunt, your uncle, your mom, your grandmother, it's kind of a neat thing. And we really appreciate the support we've had here. Local businesses. Again, I go back to local brick and mortar businesses are important, and that's why we're a big advocate of local businesses. Do you know, how many live here in town, in Clarkston School District? All right. If you live in the community, you know your home is taxed for schools to the state 6 mills. Your local brick and mortar businesses are taxed 3 times higher, 18 mills. What do you think is going to happen if those businesses go away, if they're no longer here? The money for the schools is going to have to come from somewhere, isn't it? And if there's no businesses here, because you drive out of town to go shop at a supermarket somewhere, you go to Amazon, you advertise your business on social networks because it's cheaper. Do you think those places, those internet places, those businesses headquartered out of town in Seattle or Arkansas or wherever, do you think they really care about your community, about your kids? Local businesses support all your kids' teams. They donate to the charities. This is money that could be going into their families and their businesses, but they're giving it back to you. They invest in your community. I was talking to Nate Neiman last week about local businesses, and I'm going to leave you with this as the business person of the year. There are some kids in, I think, Petoskey. They started a local program, a project, and it just has one line. I'm going to leave it with you. Support local so local lasts. Again, thanks everybody for your support, the Clarkston News and me and my kids and my family, and I really do love this town, and I know where your secrets are buried.
Congratulations. And Pat will help you carry all this down, okay?
Thank you. You know what? You have kids, so they get to do all this hard work. Door? That's that a little faster? Just go away.
The Adult Youth Volunteer Award is sponsored by Clarkston Dental Group, Mercado Dentistry. This award recognizes individuals who have given their time, energy, and talents in a volunteer capacity to help our area young people. We congratulate Kathy and Tom Middleton. Kathy and Tom are very generous people who devote their volunteer time to our community's youth. They are both past presidents and board members of the Clarkston Optimist Club. They have chaired the Optimist Club's annual event called Shiver by the River for the past 6 years without hesitation. It is this kind of involvement that has encouraged others to step in and help to support our youth community. Having children and grandchildren of their own, they understand the importance of caring for our community's youth. They have selflessly dedicated their time and efforts with their relentless volunteerism. They can be seen at events throughout Clarkston, such as the Friendly Forest, 4th of July Parade, North Sashaba Homework Club, and many more. This couple is a great example as we all work to build a Clarkston culture of unequivocal volunteerism. Congratulations, Kathy and Tom Middleton, on Adult Youth Volunteers of the Year.
First, Kathy and I would like to thank the Clarkston community for this recognition. In my youth, I was involved in 4-H programs, as were our 3 children as they were growing up. It wasn't until later in life that I realized how much actual learning from 4-H that we were having because we were having too much fun to realize that we were actually learning. The 4-H leaders provided situations where we learned people skills and knowledge that we would use the rest of our lives. The Clarkston Area Optimist Club has given Kathy and me the opportunity to continue to work with kids, creating situations that will help them build self-confidence and develop life skills while all still having fun.
First of all, if it weren't for the Clarkston Optimist Club, Tom and I would probably be sitting around twiddling our thumbs, turning into lazy older persons rather than working to bring out the best in kids with the Clarkston Optimist Club. I put the emphasis on lazy because technically we're already older persons. Challenging is Tom building the brat trailer so that there's a place for everything and hopefully everything in its place, to make preparing and selling our hot dogs and brats easier for our volunteers. Rewarding is seeing hundreds of little kids so proud and excited in their Halloween costumes as they parade through the friendly forest. Rewarding also is observing the youth volunteers costumed as their favorite cartoon or movie characters at the end of the day, exhausted and hungry, and being able to provide them with food and refreshment before they head for home. Humbling is working with Rotary to provide hundreds of children with new socks to go with their new shoes and boots. Fun is seeing the excitement and fortitude of the Junior Optimist kids as they prepare and attempt to stay warm on our Optimist float in the Holiday Lights Parade. Proud is watching our Optimist men erecting the rink in Depot Park once the weather is cold enough. And then they're cold too. Exceptionally proud of Tom as he works to fine-tune the rink every year, most often working on the ice late at night or at the wee hours in the morning. Sometimes Mother Nature helps him, sometimes she doesn't. Thankful to the Optimist Club and the youth of our community for keeping us young.
The Youth of the Year Award is sponsored by Coates Funeral Home. This award goes to an individual who has given his or her time, energy, and talents to improve our community. We congratulate Ezra Moore, who is a sophomore at Clarkston High School. He is a proud band member, active at his church, and has college on his mind. He works very hard in school to maintain his GPA in hopes that he will receive college scholarships. It's not his academic success that sets him apart from other students, though. It is his determination and dedication to his friends and peers. When tragedy struck close to home and one of his friends passed away, he rallied his friends together and supported them through this unfortunate time. He has demonstrated kindness even when he was going through a difficult time himself. He even went as far as collaborating a few sessions where he and his friends made food for the grieving family of his friend. It is this kind of selflessness that inspires others to join in. It goes to show you that heroism knows no age. Ezra is an inspiration to us all.
Ezra?
Wow, I really should have written something down. I've been in band for a while. I play percussion. I play the drums. It's actually my varsity jacket right there. And so a few months ago, my friend Evan Borgerson passed away suddenly. So in an effort to like kind of mend it almost, a few of my friends and I we started like gathering together, like a lot more than we did, and we've just been keeping close to each other, and we've just been trying to help each other out and help his parents out, and we've just been having fun while doing that, and I don't know if that even deserves an award, really. It's just us trying to make it better.
The Community Beautification and Preservation Award is sponsored by Building Integrity Sun Structure Division. This award goes to an individual, group, or business that has made a significant improvement to the appearance of our community. We congratulate the Fed community. The Fed community is a great place to eat in downtown Clarkston. The building was originally home to Clarkston State Bank. In 2015, the building was bought by locals James and Sarah Schneider. After 2+ years of redecorating and remodeling, this once prim and proper bank transformed into a work of art. The Fed has high-pitched ceilings, mismatched chairs and tables, as well as an array of throws and pillows. Both modern and funky art pieces are seen throughout the restaurant. You can see the words "You are beautiful" on the tiles of the bathroom floor, or the word "hello" on the floor upon entering. The unique charm the Fed offers is one of the many reasons locals keep coming back for more. Sarah and James, being parents themselves, really wanted there to be a kid-friendly atmosphere at their new restaurant. This is a pleasant surprise to local families. Not only is the Fed beautifully decorated, but it also comes with an exquisite menu for the entire family. Thanks to the Snyders, our community now has another beautiful restaurant to enjoy. We congratulate the Fed on winning the 2018 Community Beautification and Preservation Award.
James and Sarah?
Wow. I'm kind of teary. I don't know, Ezra, you started it. You got me teary. Looking at my son next to me and thinking, we can only hope that, the youth have such role models to follow, so thank you. Thank you so much for this award and this recognition. We are thrilled and shocked, and it's really amazing to be awarded this. When we started this journey, it all came from a love of gathering at my own home, building a bigger table. Okay, my voice is shaky. I love to gather people. I love people. I love community. I love to have as many around at my table as I possibly can. And I think my husband was getting kind of sick of that, so he's like, maybe you need a restaurant. So now I have a really big, amazing place to gather people. Be careful what you wish for and what you dream about, because sometimes dreams come true. It's a true dream for us, and every time we sit at the restaurant, we say, I can't believe we did this. I can't believe we did this. There are people here that we don't know, and they're laughing and smiling and enjoying themselves, and they're eating amazing food that's, for the most part, locally sourced, and wow, this is crazy. I can't believe we did this. So we're still shocked every day. We were told that no building will ever become available downtown, so quit looking. So we were kind of like, okay, but we don't give up. And one day we got a call that the Clarkston State Bank was going to be moving and that it was going to be for sale. And I think we knew immediately when we walked through the doors, I mean, just looking at the outside, and I was like, I don't know what's behind these walls, but I know we can do something amazing with this. So we were so shocked and in awe of every wall that we took down and what we found. Beautiful stone walls, and we were able to showcase the vault for the first time. Nobody could ever see that because it was behind a wall. And so now people can actually sit in it and dine in it in this beautiful 100-year-old building. So we had this huge challenge to take this building, pay homage to its history, and also open it up and make it modern and new and fresh. And it was a huge weight that we carried, to be honest. It took 2.5 years, and there were a lot of people that were like, what are they doing? When are they going to open? But we did not look over one detail. Really, honestly, we put our heart and soul into every detail of that building, and there wasn't anything that went, no stone went unturned. We honestly really took our time, and I am so thankful for that now. It was a long 2.5 years, but I wouldn't change that for the world because we are where we are, and maybe we're here today because of it, because we really wanted to make sure that we were able to give something to the community. I think that we had this weight on our shoulders of taking this building and making it into something, and we didn't take that lightly. We certainly did not. So thank you, Dawn Horner, for this nomination, and I know there's another one, but Dawn took so much time with it, and we wanted to make sure that she loved the building. I remember in the opening night, I was like, I couldn't wait for them to walk through the door and just see what they would think about what we had done, and they loved it, which honestly really warmed our hearts. So we brought our 3 kids with us today. They were with us through this whole process, and this is theirs too. And this is going to be their history. So hopefully someday this will be a part of what they do and who they are if they choose that. So thank you so much for having us in the community. Thank you for all your patience. Thank you for coming and supporting us. And it's amazing to see all of your faces. And thank you. Did I say enough?
That's good.
Thank you. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much.
The Community Enhancement Award is sponsored by Michigan State University Federal Credit Union. This award recognizes a group, club, or service organization's year-long effort that enhance the quality of the Clarkston community. We congratulate St. Daniel's Catholic Church's Knights of Columbus. St. Daniel's Knights of Columbus is just one of 14,000 councils of the Knights of Columbus organization that was originally founded in 1882. The St. Daniel's Knights of Columbus has continuously enhanced the Clarkston community by collaborating with organizations that strive to feed the poor or work with individuals who have disabilities. By means of financial giving and support, St. Daniel's Knights of Columbus helps to provide these organizations with the tools needed to make the biggest difference in these sectors of our community. The Council organizes fundraisers such as the annual Tootsie Roll Drive and the annual golf outing at the fountains. They are also known for their involvement in Lighthouse Emergency Services in Clarkston, where they stock the pantries with more than $2,000 worth of food. They are continuously providing financial, volunteer, and enhancement support throughout the Clarkston community. We congratulate the St. Dan's Knights of Columbus Council on receiving the 2018 Community Enhancement Award.
St. Dan's, would you please come forward?
Oh, I have some remarks already. I think somebody left their behind. Just stack mine on top. Good morning. Good morning.
Was that in your way? I can move it.
Yeah, no, it's not in your way.
This one here? It's okay.
Oh, that's mine too.
Oh, okay, sorry.
They're all mine.
I'd be in trouble if I took that
No,
one. right?
these might be yours.
Those are mine. Yeah, there we go.
Got it.
How about I go like that?
All right, better. Thank you. Good morning. My name is Jeff Wright. I'm the Grand Knight of the St. Daniel Knights of Columbus, and also a proud member of the Clarkston community with my family. On behalf of the St. Daniel's Knights of Columbus, I'd like to thank the Clarkston Community Awards Committee for this year's Community Enhancement Award. Today, I represent the 105 members of the St. Daniel's Knights of Columbus, some of whom are with me here today. When I think of what makes Clarkston such a great place to be a part of, what stands out most is our ability to come together and support those most in need in our community. We're a fraternal service organization committed to the enhancement of St. Daniel Parish and the Clarkston community, working to create a better world through acts of charity. However, we realize that our actions alone can't satisfy every need in our community. So today, while we're honored to receive this award, we're also grateful to other local organizations that act as charitable levers of our actions and wish to acknowledge them for magnifying the impact of our financial and manpower efforts. Some of the noteworthy organizations we work with throughout the year are Drew's Home of Clarkston, Lighthouse Emergency Services of Clarkston, Clarkston Scamp, Angel's Place of Oakland County, Friends of North Oakland County Veterans Treatment Court, the St. Vincent de Paul Conference at St. Daniel's Church, and the Clarkston Area Chamber of Commerce. Banded together with these other like-minded organizations, we'll continue to make Clarkston a better place to work, live, play, and pray together. Thank you.
Thanks for all you do. Pat can help you carry it down if you need. Yeah, sure.
The Community Collaboration Award is sponsored by Lewis E. Winton Son Funeral Home, a team effort. This award recognizes a collaborative effort by two or more individuals, groups, clubs, or organizations, including businesses, government agencies, and schools, to improve and enhance our community. I'm here at the corner of Seymour Lake Road and M15, where on Thanksgiving morning 2017, Deputy Eric Overall's life was abruptly taken by a fleeing suspect who veered intentionally to hit him in the midst of his criminal activities. Village of Clarkston Mayor Steve Perchable said this in the Clarkston News: "This could have been tragic for the city had Eric not been there. Eric was trying to stop this vehicle from heading south on M15 or anywhere else." Deputy Overall died protecting his community, and knowing that fact is when the community collaboration kicked in. The kindness, compassion, and generous hearts of Mayor Steve Percival, business owner Kurt Catallo, and Ace Hardware owners Jason and Melanie Haley were witnessed in action. They collectively raised $13,000 in tribute funds for the family of Deputy Overall. The family accepted the funds on January 10th at Kurt's restaurant, the Clarkston Union. Deputy Overall served at the Oakland County Sheriff's Office for 22 years. He was a loving husband and father. No amount of money can make up for the loss of Deputy Overall's life. The support and unity of everyone involved has made a huge impact on Deputy Overall's family and brought our community together in a time of tragedy. Congratulations to Mayor Steve Percival, business owner Kurt Catallo, and Ace Hardware owners Melanie and Jason Haley on receiving the 2018 Community Collaboration Award.
Steve, Jason and Melanie, Kurt.
So the mayor says I got to go first. So we will. So thank you to all. Ironically, this recognition by the community is really something that I think we all did, but really everyone that lives here is what did all this. I think all that we all did was just coordinate all of it. And you know, I guess I wanted to kind of tee off a little bit of what Don Rush had said about local business, and I think what we can do together to strengthen the community. You know, when things happen in the community, it's generally the private individuals and the locally owned businesses that provide the light during the darkest times. Whether it's a fallen officer, a vehicle accident that occurred downtown a few weeks ago, tragedies with students, leadership changes in the schools, whatever, the darkest days, we're proud to stand with the community to provide the light to help this community. I think that's an obligation we all have. When we heard the mayor was doing what he was doing with the Blue Light campaign, I read a note in the Clarkston News, and it said, you know, we're trying to get more bulbs, we don't know where to get them. And I'm thinking, well, duh, come talk to us. So I called him and said, hey, we'll give you a couple hundred bulbs. He's like, hey, that's great. That'll help the fund because they were selling them. That'll you know, if we give them to you, they'll give you more money. So we did that, and then we're like, well, what else can we do? And you know, my wife, you're allowed to stand up here with me. Jeez. Yeah, she's a veteran, and her brother's a police officer, and so serving others is kind of in the bloodline, I guess. And so right away she's like, we got to do this. And what can we do? So we did this, you know, we turned the matching thing at the cash register on where you can round up your change, and that we got a ton of money in like 2 days and did that. And then we matched it, and that was really cool. And it shocked us how much the community gave, and they're coming in just like throwing money, like what can we do to help? And to the point in the video, money doesn't replace a life, but there's a lot of things you go through in transition, and that does help with the transition. So we were glad to be a part of that. And again, it was really neat teamwork with the mayor, and then what Kurt did at the union the night of the recognition dinner was just awesome. And you know, regarding what Don said about local business, when we started our business 18 months ago, my wife came up with this guiding principle of neighbors serving neighbors, and I happen to think it was pretty brilliant, and I wish I had thought of it. And but she did, and it's like that's what guides everything with our people and what we do. We're just here to serve. And like you have to monetize your business to pay your bills. So it's by serving, it's monetized by you guys coming and spending money. And that crazy process that never works in the corporate world has worked really, really well for us. So we're proud to wear that. We actually wear it on our shirts every day, neighbors serving neighbors. And what that has allowed us to do is to reach into our pockets and give back and do things. And I think all of the local businesses, you know, the Fed was a part of this as well with donating and doing some stuff as well. So, and lots of you out there donated. And it's a really neat thing about Clarkston. We've been here 4 years, and we felt when we moved to Michigan, we're like, we can live anywhere in this area. And I think we're here for the 4th of July thing at the park with the town. It was really, we like what we see going on. And when we were downtown, we liked what we saw going on. We're like, this is a community. We've lived a lot of places, and there wasn't that sense of community. So we chose Clarkston based on that. And then we were blessed enough to be able to open a business here, and it just worked really, really well. And we enjoy giving back and doing it. And you can't do that unless your business is successful, and it's because of the community that we're successful and we give back. And I think that's the theme, whether it's the Fed or the Clarkston News. We've lived a lot of places. There are not a lot of local papers still thriving. So hats off to you. And it's because everyone's working together and they get the big picture. So we appreciate that. Thank you.
No, I'm not Kurt Cantello. I'm Eric Lyons. I work at Union Joints, but I know I speak for Kurt and all the Union Joints when I say how much we appreciate this award. Tragedies such as this, they bring together communities, whether it be the Clarkston community as a whole or even at the Clarkston Union, where Officer Overall's son, Ken, worked at. It brought us together and had us be very proud that we were able to join in a situation such as this. And like I say, that helped bring us together. And although the blue lights have faded away, we will never forget what Officer Overall did for us to protect the community. Thank you.
I've only got 2 messages, and I'm going to go a little off script here. But this is the collaboration, the Community Collaboration Award. And although you only see 3 individuals, 4 individuals standing up here, it was really many, many more. I don't know that anybody that I spoke to within the community didn't get their checkbook out and didn't write a check for Eric's family. And I appreciate it. And we probably could have raised more money if I'd got out to more people or if more people got out there. But we were very thankful for the money that we raised and we were able to give to Kenny, Eric's son, and Sonia, Eric's wife. And it takes this community to collaborate. You know, I looked at the program, 10 individuals and 1 group were nominated or were included in the awards. But there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that stand behind those people to put on a magazine. You have hundreds of people. The Middletons, they don't do this on their own. Hundreds of people collaborate every day in order to help, not hurt, but help. Look at the organizations that are out there. Look at the help that they're doing. That's very strong. That's very, very impressive for not only the city, but Independence Township. Listen, I moved here in 1969 as a 5-year-old kid moving out of Pontiac. I tease Brooks Patterson whenever I see him, and he teases me back. But it was really Brooks that brought me to Clarkston. He engaged in this little battle with Albert Hatchett in the streets of Pontiac over busing. And my mom and dad packed us up and moved out to the country. And we've been here ever since. My parents have been here ever since. And although I've come and gone through military service, Clarkston's always been my home. And yes, Don Rush and I grew up together. We graduated in 1981 from Clarkston High School. And unfortunately, I have to call him my friend. I asked Don to write my speech, but he used all of my stuff for his own. So, but I am going to do one more thing to drive this point home, and I want you to participate with me, please. You know, Eric, I knew Eric 23 years ago before he became a road deputy. I worked with his mother, Jody Overall, at Oakland County Children's Village. And Jody asked me to talk with Eric about law enforcement and things like that. I'd spent time as a military police officer and a counterintelligence special agent, so I knew a little bit about it, and I knew a lot of the deputies at Oakland County. And I was proud to talk with Eric. And Eric was a phenomenal officer and a great father and a great friend to many of the people that are out there. But I want to do one thing, and I'm going to pull two groups in together, and there's probably more groups that we can pull in. But if you're a veteran of the United States Armed Forces, I want you to stand stand up where you're seated. And I do this for two reasons. I want people to get the blood flowing in their posterior because we've been sitting for a long time. But I also want to recognize a few people. So these are the veterans that served our country throughout the wars and the conflicts and even the non-conflicts during their past. Now, if you're a wife or a grandmother or grandfather of a veteran, I want you to stand as well. Veterans, please stand. So if you're a wife or a husband of a veteran or a grandfather or grandmother of a veteran, I'd like for you to stand. If you're a brother or a sister to a veteran, I would like for you to stand. Or a mother or father to a veteran, I'd like for you to stand. If you have brothers or sisters that are veterans or were veterans, I would like for you to stand. If you have cousins, I would like for you to stand, who are veterans or were veterans. I want you to participate in this because I want you to understand this. Now, if you have a brother or a sister or a son or a daughter or a father or a mother or a grandparent who was a police officer, I would like for you to stand as well. People, these veterans and these police officers touch our lives every day. And it's very difficult for them to do their job without the support and the collaboration from the families. And Eric had that. And those that we've lost in the past year had that. We just celebrated law enforcement, those that we lost this past week in Washington, D.C., and it was a very, very beautiful thing. You can go ahead and have a seat, please. But I want you to understand that these veterans and these police officers, they affect all of us. They keep us safe. Had Eric not done what he did, had he not put his life on the line, that guy could have been right here in the city of Clarkston or in Independence Township, further in, and done more havoc. And that's important for us to understand. It's important for us to collaborate with each other, our neighbors, our businesses, our communities, our politicians. It's important for us. And it's important for us to do it with a civil tone and the right motivation behind it to help people. That's all I have. Thank you.
Let's hear it again for all of our recipients this morning. As we close this morning, I just want to very quickly thank our many sponsors for helping to make this possible. And I also want to thank Independence Television. Matt and Stephen, let's thank them. They were recording. This will be on TV. They've been actually live streaming it this morning. And I encourage you to share some pictures. Hopefully you've been taking some pictures this morning. Share it on Facebook, social media. Do that location thing saying you were here at the awards breakfast and kind of get the word out there. Theodore Roosevelt said this country will not be a good place for any of us to live in unless we make it a good place for all of us to live in. So let's dare not take the health of our community for granted. Let's dream of the things that we can do that will enhance the quality of life in our town and in our country. Let's get out of our comfort zones and come together in even greater ways to make Clarkston and Oakland County a good place and even a great place for us to live in. Again, I want to thank Dawn Horner, especially the chairperson of our committee, and also the lady on the screen this morning, Julie Nemeth. Julie's here. Let's thank Julie as well for narrating the video. Thank you so much for coming today. I ask all of our recipients if you would please come to the front in just a few moments. We want to take some pictures of you this morning. So have a great day, everybody.